From the University of North Texas Union, NTTV presents North Texas Now.
Hello and welcome to North Texas Now. I'm Kristin Diaz.
And I'm Adam Hasley.
Now, Adam, you know, life is such a complex web of people with different personalities and different backgrounds. We all know that our society could never stand alone without people who are trying to make a difference in the world every single day.
I couldn't agree more, Kristin. In today's episode, we'll, explore just that theme. The word inspiring would be an understatement to describe some of the amazing guests we have today, that they've really taken their time and paved a way to serve others before themselves.
That's right. And now, Adam, I don't know about you, but I used to have lemonade stands all the time. My parents really thought it was a good way for us to learn the value of money when we were little.
I lived out in the country, so I never really did that. Cows aren't very thirsty for lemonade, as you can imagine.
Oh, well, that's so sad. Well, it's okay. Well, today you're going to be able to live vicariously through our new guest. Our first guest is Merideth Cole. Now, she's going to show us a little bit on how to make a real lemonade stand. Merideth, how are you doing today?
Good.
We're so happy to have you. Are you skipping school?
Half of it.
Oh, okay. So she's good. She's going back. All right. So what are you going to show us a little bit about your lemonade stand? What made you come up with the idea to have one?
Well, Japan, they really needed our help. And so we just wanted to make a lemonade stand and give them money to help them.
I mean, that's such an amazing idea. I want to give you a high five for that. Good job.
So you did this because you saw the people, who suffered from the disaster, and you wanted to do something good for them.
Yes.
That's so sweet. So when did you have this lemonade stand?
We had it about March 27th.
So almost maybe 3 weeks ago, right? So right when, almost a couple weeks after the disaster. Mm-hmm. So how much money did you raise?
Over $1,000.
Oh my goodness.
So when people would come up to your stand, what would you tell them?
We would ask them if they would like some lemonade and what color they would like.
Oh, what kind of color? Did you have pink lemonade?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite because I love pink. I love anything pink.
Oh, Kristin.
So what was that anyone's favorite? Pink, yellow?
Actually, we ran out of pink first.
So there's a lot of people that like pink like me.
A lot of people like Kristin.
So how much did you sell it for? $1?
$1 a piece, yeah.
So I'm going to show this all.
So who helped you make this?
Other children and youth and some grown-ups from our church.
Nice, nice. Was that the only thing you guys sold was lemonade?
We did sell, we had these little t-shirts out, but they weren't from us. They were like...
I mean, you're really making a difference by doing this. How does that make you feel knowing that you're changing the lives of so many people over in Japan?
It makes me feel happy.
Nice. Do you know did they receive the money already? Do you know who got it? Or did you give it to like Salvation Army or the Red Cross? Or
I'm not sure. I guess they already got it. I don't know.
They probably did, and they're probably very
thankful.
gracious.
I mean, let's say that there was someone your age over in Japan right now. What would you want to tell them to help encourage them through this time?
I would tell them that it's okay and God is working His plan for y'all.
Very well spoken.
Very well spoken.
Is there anything else you would like everyone to know about how they can make a difference?
I really do.
I mean, how would you encourage other kids your age to help get involved in stuff like this? Would you invite them to come join your lemonade stand?
I think that is a very good idea. Well, thank you so much, Merideth, for coming in and hanging out with us this morning and not going to miss a special class at, what is it, Christian?
Liberty Christian.
Liberty Christian. We really appreciate you letting us borrow her for the morning. All right, so Merideth, where else can we find some of your youth group information? Is it www.st-andrew.com?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's if you want more information on Merideth's group, just go to www.st-andrew.com.
All right, and coming up next, we've all said something that we've regretted, but what can you do to inspire change in not only yourself, but also in others? We'll tell you about the Stop the Hate program when we come back.
Stick with us. You're watching North Texas Now right here on NTTV. welcome back to North Texas Now. Now, as college students, we've either said something we regret or heard one of our friends say something hurtful or derogatory. But do you ever stop to think about the power language has to impact other people? Well, joining me now is Carrie Zimmerman, creator of the Stop the Hate program. Carrie, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. So, would you mind telling me a little bit about what Stop the Hate is?
Sure. Stop the Hate is a program that helps college students really think about the power of their language. I think as we, not just college students, but as we walk around in our daily lives, we hear people say things that are hurtful, and pardon some of the language, but we hear people very frequently say, oh, that's gay, and don't be retarded. And you know, 2 days ago, Kobe Bryant was fined $100,000 for calling a referee in the NBA a faggot during the game. Wow. I mean, what a terrible example, and I think we forget that those kinds of words really have power to hurt people. So the program that I take to college campuses helps students understand that the words they say matter and they impact people both positively and negatively. So there's a reader's theater, we do some small group facilitation afterward, but it's really to create an environment where students can feel safe talking about those kinds of words that really are hurtful to them and the whole community.
Wow, I mean, I've always grown up hearing the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So,
that's a lie.
I mean, are words really that powerful?
They are. I think we can all look back and think about a time, whether it's elementary school, middle school, last week, where someone said something about you or to you that may have been true, may not have been true, but it stung you, and it affects how you feel about yourself, about how you feel about that other person. And too often those things, it's not just a word. It's that words have power and they lead to some kind of violence. They lead to an altercation, a fight, an attack. Words mean something and they push people toward actions that very often really cause rifts and problems in the community.
I mean, a lot of times when I hear people say, oh, that's gay or that's retarded, I don't think they necessarily mean it
that
as
way.
Offensive. Exactly. Do you really think that even the light-hearted, I don't think about it, really has that big of an impact as well?
I do think it does, because I think most students, you're absolutely right, they would never intentionally harm someone. They would never intentionally say something that they knew was going to hurt someone's feelings. And so part of this program is to help educate people that you might think it's a joke, but it really isn't. For example, if you say something's retarded, you may not know that the person who heard you say that has a younger sister who's developmentally disabled. You may say, oh, don't be gay, and you mean that in a derogatory way. You may not know who's hearing that, whether it is someone who is gay or has a family member who is. And a lot of it has to do with just being sensitive to the fact that we have to treat one another with respect and dignity. And a lot of the words that we choose, we have a better vocabulary than that. You can choose something that you don't actually mean that test is a homosexual. You mean that was a terrible test. So say that. Say the test sucked. Say something else.
SAT practice words, you know.
Sure, use the vocabulary. You know, try to be a person that puts some good out in the world.
I mean, it seems like a very simple solution is just watch what you say, but what personally inspired you to get so passionate about it? I can really see your passion that you really care about this.
In working with students, high school students, college students, I just see how that language impacts them. And I got tired of hearing students say, you know, that's gay and don't be retarded and quit being a faggot, or, you know, people being called too fat, too skinny, or people, you know, being mocked because of their race, their religion, their ethnicity, how much money they have. And I just realized if we don't start taking care of one another, you know, we're going to have a hard time. Life is tough enough, and everybody makes mistakes, but we really do have the choice to impact our community in a good way or a bad way. So I was really inspired, especially by other people saying, I'm not going to use that language anymore. And really it starts with a personal choice. I'm going to watch what I say. I can't control what anybody else does, but I'm going to watch what I say. And you know, one of the phrases that we talk about is, you know, watch your language. You know, your language becomes your character. Watch your character becomes your destiny. People know you by what you say.
Wow, I never really thought. I mean, it seems so
simple.
Exactly, it really does. It's one of those things that you don't even think about.
Most people don't.
Doing, but hearing you talk, it seems like it just has such a huge impact. And lately on the news, everything you've seen, just the amount of devastation words can cause. I mean, what advice would you give to others just to kind of start right now and inspire others? Because I know you said you can start with yourself, but
I really do think the first point is for you to decide for yourself. I'm going to, examine your own language. Think about what you say. And it always happens when we're trying to be funny or we get angry or we're not thinking about what we're saying. As I said, I really think rarely is this kind of language intentional. Rarely would someone say something that's going to hurt somebody else. So the first step is to decide what are you going to do with your own language. The second step is to think about, what do I do when I hear someone else say it? Am I comfortable saying to someone, I wish you wouldn't tell that joke, or I prefer you not use that word, or I'm not comfortable with that language. And you may feel comfortable confronting someone, you might not. So if you don't feel comfortable confronting someone, there's a third thing you can do to really help people, and that's to support the victim. You may not feel safe or comfortable confronting someone who's a verbal bully, but you could go to someone who you knew was hurt by that language and say, I'm really sorry that was said. I could tell that hurt you. I don't believe that. I wish they hadn't said that. So you don't always have to start a parade, give a speech, be in front of people, but you in your own sphere of influence can make a huge difference with your friends, with people that you know. So you can speak up, you can stand up, you can support the people that have heard that kind of language. And I think really people talk about, oh, it's just a joke, it was words. It's when those words lead to something else. It's when they lead to college students committing suicide because they've been bullied their whole life. When it comes to a high school student who drops out of school or goes into a depression because they don't feel like anyone knows them or likes them. Those are the kinds of things that we really want to stop from happening.
And that, I mean, you put it that way. I mean, I've never viewed this as something that's so devastating. It really has just, I mean, you've opened my eyes today. I really do feel.
My eyes were open too. I mean, I think that's
it's
what
like
it came
that, just
to.
that brain blast that you don't even think about stuff like that, but it really does make a difference. And I appreciate it so much that you came on the show, and I really do appreciate your message. If you want more on Carrie, where can they find information about you? Where can they look up Carrie Zimmerman?
I have a website, carriezimmerman.com. It's very simple.
Wow, well, thanks a lot, and we look forward to seeing you again and all you do. So when we come back, we'll show how one woman is using a television show to inspire other women. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Throughout history, women have had to fight for equality, respect, and opportunity. And although we're not where we were 50 years ago, women still feel heightened pressures from their jobs, their school, and most of all, the media to be perfect. Now, our next guest is a motivational speaker and has a passion for inspiring people to pursue their own dreams. Janae Harrell is the founder of Revelations of Authentic Women, and her TV show, Revelations of Authentic Women, has received great acclaim. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
We're really excited to know more about your project. So you started off with Revelations of Authentic Women. We want to say real, and can you explain to us why we have that stigma? We want to say real, authentic women. It's about voices, of these other women. Can you explain a little bit about that show?
Yeah, so basically the show is based on the premise that 6 women are given video cameras and asked to video journal their lives for 9 months. Wow. And typically you hear the term reality TV and there's nothing real about it. I was on one of Fox's reality shows, and yeah, there was nothing real about that project. Yeah. But through the course of this project, using video journals, they are real women, and you see their real secret struggles. And that's where the revelation comes in, is oftentimes we're dealing with things, and the things that we think we're dealing with that are big struggles, not really the core issue. And through this video journal process, you find the revelations and what's keeping you from authenticity.
And what are some of the struggles that we're going to see through this show?
Yeah, the course of this show, it really brought to light some tough issues, everything from domestic violence to eating disorders, childhood sexual abuse and the impacts in adult life that it has, and rejection, abandonment from men. So we really hit some tough issues hard this season.
Definitely, and I'm sure it's got to be a trust issue for these women to be able to really open up to you. What does this project mean to you?
To me, this project means the world. I always told the women that their healing was first to me, and how we got to the healing was obviously through the video journals, peer-to-peer mentoring, and experiential learning that I put them through. And what's been amazing is to watch these women grow as individuals and as a group and a community. So it's very exciting.
Now, are there challenges that you put these women through? You know, sometimes in reality shows we have kind of like there's a goal in between every episode. At the end of each episode, do you have a goal for these women, or how is it different from other reality shows?
This show is different from other reality shows in that it's based on personal choice. So as much as the women want to engage, that's as much as they're going to get out of the project. So if they wanted to quit, they could. And we, in fact, saw one of the women, you know, or two of them actually disengage. And one disengaged and she came back to the group, Ms. Texas actually. And it was exciting to see her come back. So, and I do put them on challenges, but they're different kind of challenges. Like we learn to cook and connect. We learned to break plates, and those plates were representative of those things that were holding us back in life, and then putting the pieces back together.
Yeah, I hear that's always, that's actually a really good tension breaker, I guess you could say, to really just get all that stress out. I've seen that in some other workshops and whatnot, so that's very interesting. Now, tell us about your new show.
Yes, so we had just shot the season finale, and everyone talked about what they learned from Revelations of Authentic Women. And what I realized is I'm always teaching everyone to go after their dreams. And I had a dream of having my own show, and everyone said, Janae, wasn't this your own show? And it wasn't. My goal for this project was their healing, and filming was secondary, and I'm going to go for it. And so we are announcing the Janae Show, and which will be a nationwide show, and we're very excited, multiple networks. And same kind of process, we're still here to motivate high-achieving women and inspire them on how to get to the next level, but we're gonna have a lot more fun, so.
Great, great. So, and you will be featured on the show. It's self-titled.
Yes.
So do you have any breakthroughs that you'll be opening up with your audience?
You know, I think that when we teach, we learn. So I'm always learning new things, and you're definitely gonna see a lot more of that on the Janae Show.
Wow. Now, how can people get involved with your show? Because I feel like this is such a healing process. There may be somebody who, you know, says, hey, I have something to share with everyone, or I feel like Janae can really help me, or the women that you choose on your show really inspire them. How do women get involved?
Yeah, we are by no means, it's not about me, it's about a community of women, and that is through my nonprofit, Hope Help Heal, where we walk women through life's journey. And how we do that is through television that reaches people on a global level, through speaking on a national level, and our online community on a personal level. So hopehelpheal.org.
Nice. Well, is there anything else you would like our viewers to know?
I think you covered it, except you need to hire her. She's fantastic.
Well, thank you so much. We are very, very excited to have you on our show, and we can't wait to see your new projects. Now, also, one last thing, can you let them know where they can find the episodes of your new shows?
Yes, please follow us at www.thejanaeshow.com.
Nice. Well, we look forward to seeing your season finale.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Adam?
Thank you, Kristin. Now, just a few weeks ago, you may have noticed students on the UNT campus going barefoot for what was one day without shoes. From students to celebrities, the event has had a global impact, and the founder of that movement and company, Toms, was here to speak to a full auditorium of students. Blake Mikowski gave a presentation talking about the history of his growing company and ways to adapt giving to businesses. So whether you buy Toms for its charity work or simply because of its popularity, it's safe to say that the buyers aren't the only ones feeling the love.
Pictures after pictures after pictures. You'd think a concert was being held at the UNT auditorium, but it's shedding spotlight on a different cause.
We really try to look at what are the needs in that community and cater to that.
It all started with one simple idea to give back to the children of Argentina. And now founder of the Shoes of Tomorrow, or Toms, is giving back his time and talent as he travels from campus to campus in order to motivate students.
Have a big impact, start small. And so don't be overwhelmed by the enormity of problems, but really start focusing on small things that you can do to make the world a better place or to help people. Because that's all we did with Toms. It was only 250 kids originally.
250 pairs of shoes that took 3 weeks to make back in 2006. Now the demand for shoes have increased tremendously, all due to the company's notoriety of the one-for-one movement.
So whether we sell a pair at a retail store or online, as soon as that pair is sold, then we start making the second pair to be given away. We will never sell a pair of shoes or anything and not give something away.
And on this gathering, that message not only reaches a few customers, but a cluster of inspired individuals lining up in hopes to meet Mark.
Well, it makes me definitely want to pursue something of my own venture.
My family is actually from Cambodia, and so I know it's difficult day-to-day life to, make it with food and shelter and everything. So it's really important to me.
There is another calling for us, not just to make money, that his idea, it was to give and to give.
It started out as a small company in California, and now it's grown to a global impact. Tom's given away over 1 million pairs of shoes worldwide. And don't be surprised to see a little bit more along the way.
We're going to introduce lots of one-for-one products that will help people address many needs around the world.
It only takes one simple concept to make a huge difference. And for Tom's, it was a slip of the shoes worth fitting in the hearts of many.
Blake did say that the 1-for-1 movement will expand other products. On June 17th, he will reveal a whole new product to the world by distributing 50 mysterious boxes to be opened at the same time. For those who may not be able to wait that long, you can text the word FIRST to 75309, and before the date, you will receive a video showing the new product. Kristin?
Thanks, Adam. And coming up, find out how a former abandoned town in an HIV/AIDS-stricken country is getting back to its feet and defeating the troubles created by its history. And here with me today is Monica Jansen. Now, you are one of the group leaders for one of the missions that that goes out there to help out in these relief efforts. Now, can you tell me a little bit about the history of Bulimbu and its people?
Sure. I'm assisting in the trips this summer, and last year when I went, we learned that the small town was abandoned in 2001. It was a mining community, and when the mine was shut down, basically everybody left. And so in 2006, not that long ago, a group of, like you said, entrepreneurs, social developers bought the town, and since then have been rebuilding it with the ultimate goal of caring for orphans.
Wow.
Pretty incredible.
So how has the town improved since you guys have been out there? I know you're helping with the orphans, but can you go a little bit more into detail with that?
Sure. What they've been doing is they've been renovating the homes that have been abandoned, and so they're in horrible shape, so they renovate them into what I would call mini orphanages. So they have an auntie and they place like 7 or 8 children, all boys or all girls, into these homes. And they provide education, care, food, medical care, whatever they need for their duration of their stay there. They even have like kind of like a social work system, so for bringing in children, so they don't just take anybody. It's a pretty incredible system. They've opened a bakery to help feed the children. They have a water bottling plant. I mean, everything they do, the revenue that it creates goes in ultimately to help the children.
Incredible. Now, do you have an estimate of the range between orphans and the adults that are still there or that are coming in? I mean,
the website would give you more bulimbu.org information on that. What we know is that there's about 250 orphans that are being cared for now. They have a goal of like 1,000 to 2,000 by 2020. They want to care for that many. And they continue just bringing in more and more. Like they've opened a dairy, they have a timber business. Honey.
Yeah, definitely
I can't even remember everything
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. Now I understand that you went there last summer.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about how that experience kind of left you once you left there? What was the impact?
Well, it's Africa, so it's just amazing to begin with. And it kind of, I mean, most people would probably agree when they go somewhere overseas to serve, you leave part of you there, like they kind of take part of you. And so it's just an incredible feeling of being able to help, but you feel like you get more than you were able to give. And just to see the hope that they have to save this small town and maybe ultimately the whole country because of the situation that they're in with HIV and AIDS. And it's just incredible to be a part of something so big, just being little old me, you know.
Yeah. What were some of your tasks and everyday projects?
In the morning, we, my team had the job of digging up a street, basically, and they and then they were
hard labor.
Yeah, I was really sore. And we
Good
the
workout.
group after us laid the bricks, so they made it all pretty. We dug it up and leveled it, and then they made it all looking nice. Some people worked in an abandoned baby home where they care for. There's dozens of babies and toddlers that are like ditch babies or garbage babies or just dropped off. And
you're kidding me.
Some people worked at a welcome center where they kind of train these orphans that have come in how to live, like how to sleep in a bed, how to use a bathroom, how to use a fork and a spoon.
You're kidding me.
So
wow.
they train them, kind of like develop skills for them to be able to live in the town and in the community.
Wow. Now, what kind of support is needed to fund this group?
Well, the obvious answer is financial, because we pay the organization the cost, and everything that we pay the organization goes to Bulumbu. And then we also have to buy our own airfare. So there's a bit of a cost, it's a bit of a sacrifice, but we have people that help us out, so that's an obvious need. And the website has ways that people can donate, like they can buy a tree, or they can buy like little items to help the ministry itself.
Awesome. Now also, why should people pay attention to Bulumbu? What is the hope for that town besides just getting it to be self-sustaining right now? What is the future?
Well, it's an amazing story for so many parts of Africa where they're facing similar things with HIV and AIDS and orphans. What they're doing is just incredible, and it works for that area. So yeah. Just knowing the story of Bulumbu or anywhere in the world, not even Africa, like here in Denton or Dallas or wherever, just knowing stories and helping and getting the word out so people just know what's going on and being more aware of the world rather than just what's going on around us.
Nice. And one last thing, how does it make you feel to know that you're making a difference in these people's lives?
Sometimes it's hard to wrap my mind around because I feel like they make more of a difference in me, you know? So it's hard to even think about that I've made more of a difference than what they've done for me, because what I'm doing is just being there, but what they're doing is changing my life in turn. You know?
Wow.
So.
Great words. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We truly appreciate
Thank
you being here, and great luck to you. Good luck to you for everything that you're doing with your mission. All right. And if you want to help out Monica and the mission trip, check out missiondiscovery.org and search Bulumbu Swazi Missions. Adam?
Thanks, Kristin. From feeding centers to orphanage, our next guests are making a difference in the world one child at a time. Joining me now is Scott Walter and Doug Price of Manna Worldwide. Thank y'all both so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Doug and Scott.
Yes.
Yeah. So what exactly is Manna Worldwide?
Well, we like to say that it's we feed children around the world, but in the last 10 years we have grown so rapidly and have expanded into what we feel is important to meet not only their nutritional needs and their spiritual needs, which we've always done, but to expand into their health, safety, and education, and even their medical care.
Oh, wow, so you're not just feeding them, you're building them houses and giving them health care and taking care of their inner soul as well.
Mm-hmm. We tried to create a holistic approach where we can take a child that is the poorest of poor in their communities, come along, partner with them, feed them, get them healthy, educate them, and bring them out of the system so that they're a more productive citizen in their community.
Definitely. Wow, y'all are doing an amazing thing, by the way, just saying that.
Thank you.
So how did y'all get started? What was the origins of Manna Worldwide?
Well, it began with our CEO. His name is Bruce O'Neill. He was a missionary over in the Philippines, and Scott knows the story a little better. But I know they were working on the border of a very poverty-stricken area, and they just felt a calling to meet the need of these kids who were going without meals, and started feeding them. Yeah, they started feeding them, and within a week's time, they were feeding 150 children. They fed them for several years. And then Bruce decided there must be other children around the world that are suffering this same condition. So he came back to the United States, founded Manna Worldwide. That was in 2001. Since then, we've grown to an organization of 141 projects in 40 different countries around the world, and those projects range anything from nutrition centers to orphanages. We're building schools, free medical clinics, and now we're venturing out into microfinance loans for individuals, and so we're trying to create a picture where we can take a child and put them through the system and break the cycle of poverty.
Wow, so you're basically almost parenting all these kids in a way. You're providing them with support financially, medically, education-wise, and then you're even giving them money when they graduate.
Yeah, it's a sense of independence that they would never have had otherwise. We even heard the story from one of our directors this past week, where they have taken children who were not even having an education and we are now getting them through college. In fact, I believe next year our first college student will graduate.
So do y'all like keep up with them? Do y'all have an updated system to where you know where they go after they, I don't want to say graduate from your program?
Well, at this point, most of the children, because we're only 10 years old, are in various stages of working through the program. Like Doug had expressed, our first college graduate will come out this year. But in a developing nation, that's a testament that we have provided an opportunity for a child that otherwise at age 10 would be out on the streets and living the same cultural lifestyle that his parents and his grandparents and the relatives that have gone on before him have lived. So we've taken that child and we've equipped them so that they don't have to be confined to those constraints, that they now have an education. They can go out and better themselves in the community.
Wow. That is extremely powerful stuff. But I mean, let's say that I wanted to get involved. I wanted to make a difference. Where would I start? How would I make that first step to help others?
Well, first would be to go to our website, which is manaworldwide.com. We've got an opportunities there to give. You can actually, and one of the things that people do to really get involved is to go on one of our trips. We probably take 50 or 60 trips somewhere in the world every year. And the people who come back their lives are changed after they, it's one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to see it, smell it, to hear it, to see what's going on over there. It's a life-changing experience. We encourage people to get involved at that level too. And you can find out about that on our website.
Wow, that is just incredible. Thank y'all so much for everything y'all do, and especially for being on the show. And y'all truly are making a difference. And I hope y'all realize that. I mean, y'all are doing a great thing by doing this, so good job to y'all.
Thank you.
For more information on Mana Worldwide, you can visit manaworldwide.com. When we come back, we're going to be taking it to the NTTV stage for another unplugged performance with Nellys Echo. Stay with us. You're watching North Texas Television right here on NTTV. Welcome back. Now, music is an inspiration to anyone, but to our next guest, it's more than just an expression of oneself. It's a lifestyle. Joining me now is Nelson Eatmopai, the lead singer and guitarist of Nellys Echo. So, Nelson, I know I probably got your last name wrong. Is Eatmopai?
Eatmopai, but that's close enough.
Close enough? Well, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name.
You're not the first one, that's okay.
Well, hopefully I will be the last, though.
Okay.
So, how did you get started in the music industry?
I was singing in the shower one day. I realized I have a good voice, so let me pursue this. That's a joke.
That's a joke?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, I just assumed anyone sings good in the shower.
Well, everyone sounds good in the shower. But I've always been drawn to music and performance. And when I was a little boy, I remember very vividly in church, the choir was singing, and I loved the piece they were singing. And I begged and cried to my mom, can I go sing with these old folks in the choir? And she let me go, and ever since then, I've been singing and performing.
So, I mean, when you write your songs, what goes through your head?
It depends on the song, depends on the mood. So, for example, on the way here today, my cousin and I were driving, and I had this idea about, for a song, for the next album. And a melody was in my head. I could hear this melody in my head. And based off that melody, I came up with the lyrics for the song. So it all depends on the mood, it depends on the song, depends on the melody too.
Okay. Now, I read on your website that music is more than just, how did you describe it? You found the better way?
I found a better way to touch people. Like you do this, you're a TV personality, you're a host, and this is how you tell your story. You get people here, you get to know them intimately. I found that with music, you can say anything with music, and it's almost like you are priming the heart to receive a message. So I could say I won't say I love you, but I could say I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you.
And your hat.
And my hat too.
You
want my hat, don't you?
I really do want your hat. We'll talk after the show.
Oh, yeah. I could say I love you in just plain words, and it wouldn't make a connection with you. But if I sang I love you, it'll mean more to you. So, and especially going on the college tour I'm on right now, it affords me that opportunity to to lay a positive message on fertile minds, students, fertile minds, that there is life out there, there is hope out there, there is music out there, there is love out there, and it's okay to have these experiences.
So you say your primary message is love?
Love, life, the gospel, the truth, news, everything. Positivity.
So you're extremely emotionally attached to each one of your songs.
Oh yeah. And I hope that's what's gotten me this far so far, that when I perform on stage, they see that honesty with the music, because you try to connect with the music. And if people see that on stage, they'll understand.
I mean, but when you get up there and perform, you're basically putting your heart out there. How does that make you feel? How do you overcome that fear of, you know, I mean, you're literally throwing yourself out there for everyone.
That is true. And the best way I can describe that is this. I feel the most alive on stage, and I feel I can air out my vulnerabilities on stage because I can hide behind the music. Okay, so the music affords me that opportunity to be vulnerable, at the same time be accepted.
Okay. So, I mean, when you play your songs and you express yourself like that, what are you hoping that the people hearing your music will do with that?
I said this before, but hope, primarily hope, that whatever emotions they're experiencing, whatever situations they're going through, they're not alone. Sometimes I have songs about breakups, songs about makeup, songs about love, joy, pain, you know. And if people can hear that, they can say, oh, okay, he went through that. He's not some kind of a character or a figure up there. So maybe I can then deal with this issue too, because he seems okay singing about it on stage. So maybe I can also.
Definitely. So by the time you finish a concert, everyone knows you pretty much?
Well, sometimes in the bar, no one really knows because they're too drunk to even remember. But that's the goal, that's the hope. And even if it's just one person, you know, I can make a connection with one person, I'm happy.
Definitely. Well, I feel connected right now. And I'm about to feel a bit more connected. Your hat, I'll feel connected when I take your hat after the show. But right now you're going to be performing a song for us, is that correct?
Yes, I will.
So which song are you going to be singing for us today?
This one's called If I Were the King. It's the song that plays as soon as you go to my website, NellysEcho.com. It's the first title track of the album, Secrets to a Happy Life.
All right, well, Nellys Echo with If I Were the King.
All right, this one's called If I Were the King. Also available on my website, NellysEcho.com. If I were the king, I'd make you sing, I'd rule the sky, I'd make it cry with tears of joy on my behalf, please enjoy. If I were the king, I'd make you sing, I'd rule the sky, I'd make it cry with tears of joy on my behalf, please enjoy. The show is coming to town, making believe beside the critics tonight. But don't be alarmed if you see me get down, swinging my hips, I bet they don't lie. Everybody to the dance floor, shake what your papa gave you, do your dance. The music is fire, you better give me some more. If you're happy and you know, please clap your hands. If I were the king, I'd make you sing, I'd rule the sky, I'd make it cry with tears of joy on my behalf, please enjoy. If I were the king, I'd make you sing, I'd rule the sky, I'd make it cry with tears of joy on my behalf, please enjoy. Funk it up, jazz it up, yeah, a little bit of soul with some hip-hop, doo-wop, doo-wop, was born to rock, 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 rock the mic, yeah, and mix it up, stir it up, yeah, pop and lock, I dare you to stop, living it up, I'm moving on up. I said if I were the king, I'd make you sing, I'd rule the sky, I'd make it cry with tears of joy on my behalf, please enjoy. If I were the king, I'd make you you sing, God rule the sky. I'll make it cry with tears of joy on my behalf. Please enjoy. City, if I were the king. City, if I were the king. City, if I were the king, I'd make you my queen. City, if I were the king. City, if I were the king. City, if I were the king, I'd make you my queen. City, if I were the king, I'd make you sing. I'd rule the sky. I'd make it cry with tears of joy on my behalf. Please enjoy. If I were the king, I'd make you sing. I'd rule the sky. I'd make it cry with tears of joy on my behalf. Please enjoy. City, if I were the king. City, if I were the king. City, if I were the king, I'd make you my queen. City, if I were the king. City, if I were the king. City, if I were the king, I'd make you my queen. Yeah.
Wow, Nelly, good job. That was really good. And the hat, I'm pretty sure you can pull it off better than I can.
Adam, I don't know if you're wearing it as good as he is.
Ouch, that hurt. That hurt. But if people want to find out more information about you and not about Kristin, where should they go?
You can go to NellysEcho.com. It's NELLYSECHO. And via the website, you can go on iTunes and go on my Twitter page, which I'm never on, but I'm doing a better job of tweeting. And everything you need to get about Nellys Echo is on the website.
Well, there you go. Everyone go tweet Nelly. Thank you so much. Now you're going to play us out, right?
I am.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, that's all the time we have for you today.
Definitely.
Remember, you can always catch North Texas Now online at nttv.unt.edu. Also, be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right. And for everyone that's been a part of this one, thank you so much for watching. Make good choices, North Texas.
Now, one more time, Nellys Echo.
Thank you. And I'm crazy to think she's in love with me. Will I ever learn? She blows me that kiss, yes. She'll make me bleed, and then she'll watch me burn. Ooh, no. Ooh, hey, hey. Ooh, no. Ooh, no. No, no. 1,000 broken hearts lying and waiting, hopelessly dreaming. Love is a joke, yes, leaves you in the dark, forever questioning all those love stories. No, no, she swears she'll never leave your side. In the blink of an eye, she'll have you wondering why. Oh, Lord, she swears she'll never leave your side. 'Cause my story is a little disappointing. Love's made me worry, love's made me hurt, and I'm crazy to think she's in love with me. Will I ever learn? Hey, she blows me that kiss, yes. She'll make me bleed, and then she'll watch me burn. Broken hearts
all in a circle, begging for an answer. Love is a joke, yes, crazy with desire, feeling inspired, rekindle that fire. No, she swears she'll never leave your side. In the blink of an eye, she'll have you wondering why. Yeah. She swears she'll never leave your side, 'cause my story is a little disappointing. Love's made me worry, love's made me hurt, and I'm crazy to think she's in love with me. Will I ever love? Hey, she blows me that kiss, yes, she'll make me believe, and then she'll watch me burn. What am I to do? I believe in love. Love's let me down again, left me all alone, and I'm tired, and I'm crazy to think she's in love with me. Will I ever learn? No, will I ever learn? Say no, will I ever learn? No, 'cause my love still burns strong, but not for her anymore. 'Cause my love still burns strong, but not for